Hello and good evening. It's Tuesday once again. It's live stream time for me and maybe and hopefully for you too. So you are prepared by the title. I want to paint a portrait, in this case with two color types. I use acrylics and I'm using oil paint. The acrylics I already used for prime the canvas, so that's a randomly colorful surface now. You will see that in a few seconds. So I had to prepare that because it has to be dried, and otherwise it wouldn't work with the oil colors. So I don't want to talk too much, as mostly, and don't forget to subscribe my channel, and maybe you press the bell button too, so you get informed by new videos I'm uploading on my channel. So let's go and have fun. So I'm back here now on my easel, and yeah, as you see here, I have already prepared something. It's sorry. This is the same paper I normally use. It's a paper special for acrylics or oil paint. So I just prepare it with red color, yellow, and white acrylics. So just randomly, I really had no concrete plan about that, and after that I make refresh the sketch I already did underneath. So that's now just a little rough guideline for the guy I want to paint. You'll see on the right in the right corner. And so maybe you know the preparings and what I normally do. And now let's start. I think it could be funny. All right. So at first I'm using a little bit of Acrylic, which is a fast drying medium, just to get a faster drying. So that's especially on paper, it soaks so well, so that after a while, so the color is getting more sticky and it's easier to paint on it. Maybe I'm just show you what kind of color I have here. That's the same palette I had last week. We have here titanium white, a warm gray, a prepared flesh tint. Then we have a cool light gray. We have lemon, cadmium orange, maple yellow dark. Then this is vermilion. Then we have cadmium red. This is crimson. And here we have magenta. Then yellow ochre, burnt umber, burnt sienna, ochre's green, cerulean blue, ultramarine blue, and in this case a little bit of black. Maybe I don't need it, but I just prepare it. Maybe the painting leads me to that, that I'm using the black color. So okay, let's start. I just mix a little a light flesh tone I want to start, and the main objective on this painting will be that I let some acrylic colors shining through. So I don't want to paint everything in oil, and I will see what color I will survive on this painting. Okay, so first I start with the highlight colors. Some guys starting with the darks, and for me it's easier to start in this case a little bit with the light colors. So if you have any questions, so leave them in the comment. Time by time I'm looking for your comments and try to answer that. think it's most of the stages I'm doing here, I'm explaining. Here, now we have here, here's here. The neck is over there. Let's hit the neck, We have here, part of the ear, so that's wrong by my side. So we have here in this case just a light flesh color. So, and giving a bit more rosy or cool rosy tone. That's just mix a little bit of crimson inside because it's getting cooler then, just to find the first transitions on where the shadow begins. Just to see, I'm using the color currently really thin, so that this dark spot here from acrylics is now shining through, but this doesn't matter. So, and yeah, let's see how it comes together. I'm normally paint intuitively and let me lead by the colors they are coming on the surface here, and I'm sometimes, or mostly, I'm spontaneous on that what I'm doing here. And it's not the main target for me to especially when I'm now painting here on live. So I try my best to hit the guy and his expression and his, so that his similarity is also in the focus. But what I want to show you here is more how loosely and easy you can start to paint. Nothing special here, so it's just setting some, for me, some spots. I hope the music isn't too loud in the background. I tested this before, but it's always maybe a bit of personal to say that it's maybe too loud. Or see here, this is also a line. The neck, we find here part of these are the of this structure here, but around the ear, which is not really visible here on the colors. This is really a thin sketch on that, and so it's giving me the freedom to be flexible on the color I want to spot on these places. So now I'm starting a bit using the beard. In this case, it's maybe getting a more brownish one instead of the last painting I did where I had a black beard. But maybe I want to change that later. So just be loose here to loosen up the rough shape of the beard, just to have the form right. So it's quite a challenge to paint a beard which is so thin on his on this part here, and this is really the thinner the hairs are thin. You can see a lot of the skin underneath. So it's maybe challenging later. We'll see how I solve that problem. Okay. So maybe someone is out there and had a question about, so can I use acrylics over oil? So maybe that's sometimes also a question that people have, and it's a clear no. And the reason is that you have different, the drying process is quite different than because we have on the water, we have more of the process that the water inside will evaporate and this is will drying, and the oil is more in oxidation. So it needs light, warmth, and oxygen that the color dries. So and of course, if you are painting under with water over an oily surface, there will no adhesion, or maybe the word, existing. So that's this cannot work. So only paint with oil over acrylics, but definitely not in the other way. There are some different methods to do that. It's not that problem, because you have another color type, like maybe you need a tempera, and this maybe you need to mix by your own, and so you can use egg as a binder medium, and then you're mixing linen oil within, or some acrylic, and of course the pigments. So then you can paint with that mixture. You can paint over oil. But traditionally, egg tempera was also used for underpainting. What you want to do. So let's see where. Yeah. So I'm quite loosely with that, and I use a large brush. Maybe you can use a larger one, but this is my favorite size I'm using, and on this size of painting, of course. This is also should be in a certain relation. So as I said last time, I think I told it already. When you are thinking about that, maybe your brush is too big, then I recommend use use a bigger one. It keeps you loose, not getting too detailed in painting, and let the paint, of course, more, yeah, it's more rough, a rough painting than a detailed one, and this get the impression maybe you like from the kind I paint. But it's just a tip. Maybe you can figure it out for yourself and tell me your experience. At a certain state, normally I get confident with that what I'm doing here. So this is mostly not the case when I'm starting. So, but at a certain stage, I see that it gets my way. So, and I find the right way to express the painting. Or find the expression and the likeness of that what I try to achieve. So I think we use another color now. Staying with a bigger brush already. Further and getting more of a reddish tone now. Just mixed a bit of yellow ochre and burnt sienna. Get a reddish brown. So you see I have here I have a printout here on my easel, so that I don't have to look at the small picture here on the screen. And but this is not really a big contrast. I'm normally trying to avoid that, so that I have to think about the form and how the light is touching the face, and to describe it in my way, so and not to get led by a hardly contrasty photo. Maybe you can do that if you like that, if you're more confident with that and that's what you need, you can do that. Make your high painting with dark contrasts, so maybe it's easier for you to follow that form. So maybe today I'm a little bit slower in that what I'm doing here, because I'm really thinking about what I'm doing next and what kind of color I want to use, just to bind these underlaying color to the oil color now. So this is the challenge, of course. So to do that, I'm just using a bit of crimson, nearly pure, and start to come over here in this reddish area to find out here the way of the shapes and this is I'm using nearly pure magenta, which is by nature transparent. So I'm mixing the color, or in this way not mixing, it's just overlaying the color with a transparent one, so that if I have some dark spots under these transparent color, so it's getting darker. And this is also, by the way, it is a kind of painting the old masters normally did. They had an underpainting mostly, as I told, with egg tempera, and then they came in over there with transparent layers of oil. And so, and the more the layers they have, the more depth was the impression on the painting. And this is also that's similar to use that. I can take these colorful underground, and just to lay a thin color of oil over it, and to improve these depth of the form. Okay, so I think I have to describe a bit more I think I need another color. Yes, I need another red too. I just have to prepare it on my palette. Now, what I think for now I wanna do that here, that I have the neck here with the hairs coming up. Just to start from the background, I'm just eliminating some parts from the background to get a better impression of the form of his head. And because here are also a kind of hair, maybe in this case it was not a bad idea to mix some black on, or to have some black on the palette for now. When I use that here, just to giving this edge here, yeah, I think it's this is one way I have to go now. But at first I wanna shape these background edges a bit, and in this case I'm using a little bit of white and a thin mix of green, really thin greenish mix here. Okay. More. It's a bit too less of green. And if you're using Acrylic in it, so it's get a creamy consistency. It's like milk or so. I'm not trying to figure out exactly the shape, so because maybe later I will come from working from the hair in the background, and so giving a bit more dynamic expression. And of course I'm using a little bit here for that, but just a little bit to find the balance. Okay, then I have to use really a little bit of black. I'm just using in this case a smaller brush and using this black here on the corner, just that I don't have to mix it with other colors. It's just here on this little tiny spot, and try to find these form. Right, that's for now, okay. Just to have a map and an orientation that helps me to go around the face on each spot I'm painting. And maybe here you can set some dark points here, some dark spots in it, a little bit more, and then later on I can put some lights on it. So, and that's why I'm using now the black in an opaque way, so just to find some, all the hairs are falling, giving a really a light impression where the darks are in the hair. I'm trying not to paint everything with this. Just a few lines. And you see here I'm mixing, maybe it's not really visible to see for you, but in this spot here I have magenta underlaying, and now I came in with a black over it and pressing a little bit harder the brush on the surface so that the color is coming together. And now I have a darker magenta, which is more it's not so brilliant. It's a broken color, and but that's okay. It's pretty okay. So, and when I'm already have these some little one here again. Yes, that's it. Okay. Nothing more for the moment. So now I'm defining more the eyes and the eye socket here, and this little eye here is not really a big shape, it's a small one, and then I'm starting here to come on along the nose, and on this little spot here, this little spot is also seen on the photo, which is pretty bright. So, and I have to figure out that you can see that later on how to spot that out, so against the background, that just to see that that's there. And this also have how to handle this contrast from this spot to the background spot. So that's also a thing I have to solve. Okay, for now the black is bent. All right, so now I'm starting to using it now in more round, such a round brush. That's just to outline here the form of the eyes, not too exact, but roughly, so that you get more an impression of the face, and I have all the features are then installed, and then I can play around and to adjust everything. That's my thoughts in the background. So what I try to solve. And I'm mixing here not a black, but I'm coming close to that. I'm mixing some burnt. What the fuck is going on here? Where comes the white? No, that's not good. I have to wipe it away because there was some white within, and I don't know where it comes from. Okay, just clean that spot here. Oh, the most of the white is away, so that's okay. Cleaning the brush. And again, using burnt umber and ultramarine blue. You can give him a warmer or another direction if you like, so you're mixing some red in it, or but in this case I want to have it a bit darker and thinned. Okay, so starting to, and I'm holding the brush fairly wide, so that I don't have the exact control over that what I'm doing, and I have the right distance to see what I'm trying to do. Yeah, and that's And you see also in this case here we're mixing these colors which is already on the surface. So my dark color is slightly brighter than it should be, so I have to remix it and just to adjust it. Okay, then the other side, I'm really doing that. Nose. And here's some part. I'm using the center line of the mouth just to set a dark line. This will change later in another color, but it's just a guideline for me. And pause here. In this case, I really touch slightly the brush on the surface. And now I'm looking for the part of the ear. So we have some correct lines here. Okay. This is really, it looks black, but it isn't. It is ultramarine and burnt umber. I think today I have the right camera set up. The color looks fairly that way that it is here on my easel, which is really a really hard challenge, I think, to get the right color for you. Not too bright, not too funky, or oh. Okay. So back to the face again. In the meantime, some spots are not dry, but they are more resistant on that what I'm doing now, so that I'm coming with another color over it. And once again, it's just a slight, as you see, it's a lot of color here I have a lot of color here in the brush, and so it depends on what kind of brush you're using. have, maybe for you it's interesting, I have two different lengths. When I see that here, they are shorter and longer, and the shorter the brush, the more problem you have to lay colors over it, or you have really a big load of color on a short brush, and just to tip it on the surface, and which is much easier to handle with a brush which has longer hairs, so it's smoother, and you can better control the pressure. It's by the way, it's definitely my understanding from that, and how I handle it, and how I try to solve the problem on my style of painting. This kind of handling colors in conjunction, like acrylics and oil, and your objective is to let some acrylics shining through your oil colors. So you have to think a bit more about what you're doing, because once over painted the acrylics, it's over. It's this you cannot correct. So this you have, maybe you're staying a bit more, reflecting a little bit more of that what you're doing or what you're planning to do. So instead of being too quick, and later you can not really correct it. Maybe you can see that at them. Sometimes I try to follow the form with a brush, and sometimes I do completely opposite thing, that I'm only going horizontal or vertical, and I'm not really thinking about the form. This is also more in I would say experience, and or maybe just a question of style, but I do that really not planned. It's just yeah. How should I explain that? It's more a question of likiness, and sometimes you're wrong. Definitely, yeah, you're wrong. And you have to. And it's over. You cannot change it, and you have to accept that, and that's okay too. But maybe sometimes a thought shows you some nice new ways, so you are open for that, to accept that, and play around that result. So now I see here, it's interestingly, and I'm on live, I'm standing on the easel. It's interesting that I see here those spots there running around in this way, which I really didn't expect. And when I'm seeing these little painting now on the screen, and shows me that that's not really good. I have to change that. It's not the way I wanna paint that face. So I have to go over and destroy some stuff here, and I can do that with color. That's one way, or I can use a towel or with a bit of turpentine and wipe it away. Maybe this is also possible, but I think for now it's just I'm wanna be a bit more brutal and going over that with a fairly heavy swing like this. Just this. So, and for now it's this impression is now gone for the moment. I'm looking for where are the lights here on the neck. I think here's a light. Just use that in a small spot because my thoughts are that I let some parts of this red and yeah, this red tones and this violet here, I let stay. So, and I have to figure out what. Maybe the I'm using really the shadows to for the red. Well, the red is describing the shadows, or I'm using another color and and the red will be the highlight. This is I'm just thinking about, and I'm not really sure how I want to do that at the moment. And by the way, the time is always running. So on the description on the video and on Facebook or on YouTube, there is a description below, and last week I talked about that there's coming something new. I have a link on there. It's on my website. Where are you? If you are interested in learn to paint this way, or I do, so follow this link and leave your phone name and your email there, and you get informed about new progressions I'm doing in that way. Or if you like to, there is also a new group on Facebook I have created these days. So if you are interested in painting really freely and easily portraits, or maybe some other stuff, yeah, it hasn't to be portraits. It could be also a landscape or cityscape or still life, whatever, yeah, or a nude painting, or yeah, I'm open for everything, whatever your passion will be, or what you wanna learn. So let me know. Go there, register there, write me, stay in contact. This would be pretty nice. It's also possible that this spot here, the white one, I leave. It's not fairly the whitest spot on the forehead, but it's yeah, it's a light. The lightest spot is here. Yeah, so this you can also solve that you're painting this background a little bit darker. But what I like is this yellow swing here, which is from the acrylics. I don't wanna correct that. I like that. I think I wanna let it stay. So so I have to look for another for another solution. The one is that you cannot be whiter than white, and in the color zone. So you have to think about maybe another solution. This way I'm fairly use cerulean blue and just a bit and a lot of white, just to give him a light blue. That's pretty light. So and I'm describing the highlights for this brightest point. I'm describing with this blue here, and in here I'm setting this too. Just figure out where the brightest points are. I can see on the photo, and just do that in that way. You can see that suddenly the blue shines, give him a certain light. It may have sometimes the impression that this is the lightest point, but it isn't. And the white is normally the brightest point, but mixing them, you can do that with green or with blue anyway. And maybe I'm sitting here slightly to get the color on it. The nose too. I have to be cautious because the black is on the side here, and I'm going to the edge of the nose, and then on this edge I'm painting away. So it gives me more control. Otherwise I'm coming too much or too far away, or too close. Sorry, too close to to the black, and this will destroy my intention. All right, so yeah. I'm mostly surprised when I'm looking at the clock. So it's already 1 hour over, and unbelievable. That's going so fast. And when this happens, I see that maybe I'm slow. I'm trying now to go into the eye with a lightly, this is a bluish gray, and to describe the white in his eyes, but just really tipping around, and I know that in the next stages I'm paint this is important that it's getting that I'm doing this loose, not too fixed on something. So just to set the right spot on the right place, and then maybe a few days. It depends on how quick it dries, but in a few days you come back and you continue. Yeah. You can go from this spots on, and you can overpaint it then if you was wrong. But mostly it's when you're unsatisfied with your first approach. So, and you stay away for a few days. And later, and you came back and you have a second look on that, and maybe you see that it wasn't so bad, and maybe you let some stuff that what you try to correct, or what you most likely think that it's not okay. I have to change that. So maybe you come to another result and you let it be, and for that you're changing something other, which was not originally on your focus. But this is the dynamic, I think, of the process of painting. By the way, like I said, it's my way. There are so many different possibilities to paint, and you should use that, and you should try it, and it helps you to define and to develop your own style, which is, I think, the most important thing. That it takes time, and it, yeah. What I don't like is the brown here on the on the side of the head. And when I loosen this up a bit, and this one here, it's not really corresponding or harmonizing with other colors around, so that really I have to loosen up and change it. think I want to paint a part of the mouth now, so that these white space is eliminated, and yeah, I think it will change the impression completely. And this is not so easy to find out the first color. Maybe sometimes it's too pinkish, then it's too reddish, and then it's too, I don't know. To figure out the right tone for the lips. Isn't that easy for me? Okay, we're starting with a slightly light rosy value. I'm using here a smaller brush for the moment. See, I'm just decided to use this color for the lips, and then I see, oh, okay, maybe I can use that on another spot in the face too, and did that here in the ear, and maybe I can use that here also for a bit of the light. Okay, so then I'm back. I'm trying to darken that some parts of the lips, so I'm mixing some brown, or in this case also a bit of burnt sienna in my basic lip color. Maybe it's a bit too less. The dark I already painted will now partially eliminate it, so that just an impression of darkness. And this is I think so. It's for me a good way to work with. I came normally to a good result with that style, but maybe there is another possibility to mix it a bit different and maybe better. I don't know. I'm open. definitely some brighter parts on the edges of the lip. So I'm painting this too, but also a bit too much, so that later I can go over it and reduce it a bit more or widen it. It depends where I was wrong or where I have to adjust it. But mostly it's really just reducing. And oh, maybe you hear that the thunder is underway. Today it was pretty warm, and I think this is cooling down the air. So I come slightly to the impression that it's okay to me. So as what I said, I'm searching for the state that I'm confident with, that I'm getting that what I like to achieve. So that's sometimes not always the case, and sometimes it's a fight. But this is part of the job. Maybe you're in another business and there's also something is working really well, and then some days you're thinking, what the hell is going on? And nothing changed really. But I think everybody knows out there that I was in touch with such problems. So see, the pupil is this pupil is definitely not correct. So I am using the dark. This was a black. I think it was original black. Oh no, it was a mixture between brown and blue. So I'm mixing that anyway, and now I'm try to correct that a bit more, and sometimes it's just a bit, not so much, but it changed everything. In this case it's better now. It's more the lights and everything on the eye will come, but it's not currently really the right time to think about that. It's more likely to figure out the really perfect form of the eye. So I know that I cannot finish that today, so it's obviously, but then I'm using the time to using colors for correcting some stuff, and so that later I want to paint over it and it's dry, and it doesn't disturb anyway. So This, of course, I'm doing that now because we have only 15 minutes or so left. So I want to fix quickly all these points that I'm not really happy with. I have here the form here. What's also a bit irritating is now this big block on the hair. I think I have to loosen it up a bit more so that it's not so dominant. So it helps up to make this more fluffy than it looks currently. It's more a block now. It's too massive. This I have to, of course, I have to loosen up a bit. But not now. I think this is too much for today. So let's describe some boards. What's a bit more? A bit darker here, a bit darker there. And then we have here a line. So this is also helping to describe this. Using these here, this helps you that the red here is becoming light, so it's lighter than that what I want to paint here, and it's a way to play around with. I'm doing this now just as like a drawing. Also the beard here on the end here on his I don't know what the word is, chin, for the on the chin here. This is also a blocky, slightly blocky. I think so. I have to go from the background in the beard, and then again from the beard in the background, and yeah, I think this will loosen up a bit the beard, not so that it is not so really so blocky. And there are different ways to do that, and yeah, I think this will be the next time. I want to paint that. I want to continue that. Maybe you follow me next this on next Tuesday. I think I want to paint that to the end or near to the end. Yeah, so there are some things there I'm not really happy with it currently, but the tendency is that I will get I get it. Yeah. So maybe a part here from. I want to paint this here from the. Better proportion for that. Okay. Yeah, I think it makes no sense at the moment to continue with that, because now I have all these spots are now so colored, and see, the color is now so wet that every what I want to do is mixing up every layer with it, and so I got a muddy and not a brilliant color. So this is why I have maybe to stop here. And yeah, continue on the next Tuesday with that. I think it should be a good idea. And then over that, maybe I stop to paint to show you how to paint a portrait. I think so. Maybe I'm painting a forest scene, or I have some particular ideas, and I think. It was also nice for you to see that I'm not only painting portraits, I'm painting some stuff more. But okay, mostly portraits, you're right, so fine. So okay, that's for today, I think it's enough. It's over and out, and I have to say thank you, and I want to say don't forget to subscribe, and maybe you're using the bell button too, as I said in the beginning, so you get informed when I'm uploading new videos or have a new live stream or whatever. So if you are, so then you're up to date. And maybe you have time and you find time to look below the description and follow the link to my website and take a registration, so that you also get informed about private videos I wanna make, and so that these are public here. And so I think it's a nice idea. And or you like to join my group on Facebook, so the link is also below. But for now, it's for me. It's, yeah, I think the end for the day. It was a long day for me, and yeah, I hope you enjoy your evening and enjoy your family, your friends, whatever you currently do. And I have to say goodbye. Have a nice week. Use the nice weather out there. So we should have a sunny week. And yeah, I hope you come back next week. And thank you so much for watching. Bye bye and good luck.